Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome to another Poor Choices Sip and Chill. I have my glass of wine. I know Tugs. Do you have a glass of wine? I'm in love.
I poured it. I didn't realize there was this much left, but it's $3 Walmart wine, which is fine when you first open it, or $4 Walmart wine, which is fine when you first open it, but it's been a couple days and it's starting to turn, so we're gonna power through, friends.
Yeah, chug, chug, chug. Woo. And speaking of powering through, I mean, not really, but Cajun Corey, member for 11 months, says, good evening, 11 months of membership already. We're almost a year with you, Cajun. That is amazing to see. And yeah, we're doing really well on this channel. I guess I get so excited about the red pill, manosphere, relationships, because there's always just so much to talk about. Because you think you know a lot about relationships, and then people start mouthing off, and then you're like, oh,
you're like, and listen, we don't. I mean, we do suggestions here, but advices would be a strong word.
I think commentary is what we want to go with for what we do here.
Yeah, commentary is pretty good. I mean, you guys ask and we'll say, but listen, like, don't take it for what it is. You know what I mean?
And I will always say this. You can listen to me. You can listen to Tugs. You can listen to every podcast YouTuber out there. Take everything with a grain of salt, because not all of this applies to you specifically.
Yes.
And that's okay.
Correct.
It's okay. But I think the more we talk about it, the more we can actually realize what's going on in our lives, and then hopefully help you out in whatever you need.
Exactly.
So, but yeah, let's say hi to the chat. We got Frog Finance, Hokies, Sassy is here as well. Nearsighted Cyclops, Good, Hunter Vokit. Did I say your name right? Robert Lowry, Jay, Ken, Shieldwall, Andrew, JS Pena, and yes, I was on Wicked's channel, and now I'm over here. Hello, Wayne, Shaka Zulu, Cool Gamer. Did I say hi to everyone? Mark is here as well. Tara, oh my gosh, there's so many people here. LDT, John, thank you guys for joining. Holocron, Crash Mondo,
Who are the knights? Does he just ask me who the knights are?
Who are the knights?
They are the Knights of Knights. The Golden Knights, the Vegas Golden Knights.
Oh, is this like a basketball thing?
It's a hockey thing. We just made it to the Stanley Cup final, which is the football, the NFL.
Oh, who are they facing? Do we know?
Florida Panthers.
Oh, right.
So this is our second time. I'm going to nerd out a little bit. It's our second time. Sports Tugs. Yay. Our second time in the Stanley Cup final in 6 years. And we've only been a team for 6 years. So we're doing a lot better than a lot of the other teams. But yeah.
I always am shocked with hockey when Canadian teams aren't on there. But then I think about how the hockey teams are funded really by Canadians. Humans,
yeah, I mean, all of our teams are, all of my team, except for one person. We have one Russian. We have mostly French Canadians. I think we have like maybe 1 or 2 Americans.
Yeah, it's not fair. You guys have money down there.
Well, so, you know.
And Hokies, member for 11 months, says, hope your nights do good, Tugs. Hugs for Tugs.
Fingers crossed. Look, listen, it's our second time in the Stanley Cup final, which is the Super Bowl for the NHL. For those of you who don't follow hockey, it's basically, that's what it is. And we've only been a team for 6 months or 6 years. So it's our second time in 6 years, which is crazy. And we made it to this spot with our 4th backup goalie. So
4th? What happened to the 3 before that?
So we had Robin Leonard, who's our main goaltender. He's a hot freaking mess, and no offense to Robin Leonard, but he's a hot mess, and we all just really don't like him. But he got hurt a while ago, and he's been out all season pretty much. So then our backup goalie from him was Logan Thompson, who we all like really a lot. Then he got hurt, and our third backup goalie was Brossois, and then he got hurt. So now we have Aiden Hill, who has just been kicking names, taking butt, and absolutely just dominating.
Oh my God, he's been taking butt?
Yeah, kicking names and taking butt. Kicking butt and taking names.
Oh, there we go. Awesome. That sounds better. I was going to say, it sounds a little gay.
That's a Guardians of the Galaxy reference.
Kicking butt and taking game. Oh, yeah. Names, not games. Not game. Anyways, I'm not good with things. Then again. But anyways, I'm X-Ray. This is Tug. We're here to talk about relationships.
And hockey, apparently.
But to kind of start this off, we have a topic that we've been kind of excited to talk about because this has started before even last week, because we had Legal Mindset on. So we kind of didn't really want to talk about that because we wanted to get more about, international love. Now we're going national, I guess, in the Americas national. And there's a clip that has been going around and it's been a bit spicy, to say the least. Let me see if I can find it here.
Yeah, exactly. See, Mark? Yeah. All right. Oh, yeah, this one. Okay, I wasn't sure which one you were going to bring up first.
Yeah. So I've never heard the word endure so much.
So we're going to play the clip, and then I watched this stream, all 5.5 hours of it, and I'm going to tell you what actually happened, and then we're going to discuss.
Yes. Anyway, so this is the spicy clip.
If there's someone that's very, very young and goes into a marriage and has kids when they're like 18, 19, 20, a year into the relationship, it gets really, really abusive. Even though it might be rare from what you guys think,
it is.
If it would happen, what would you recommend for those people? Would they divorce or do you want them to keep going in the relationship?
Keep going.
You can't divorce. That's not a real thing.
Even though it might be like physically abusive?
You got to endure. People are too...
You want to stick in the relationship?
People are just...
look,
people nowadays are just...
For anyone that might be in that situation, what would you recommend?
Okay, endure.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what.
It is such an extreme example that I can't give a prescription for what other people should do.
What about if two people get married, they have a kid, and then the wife starts cheating? Do you think they should divorce?
Absolutely. Jesus himself said in cases of adultery, divorce is permissible.
So you think that divorce is worse than physical abuse?
For the children?
Or cheating. Sorry, you think that cheating is worse than physical abuse?
For the children, yes.
I think I'm not going to say
divorce.
This is worse.
Divorce is worse for the children.
If there's someone.
Okay. All right. So Tugs, give us the DL on this 5-hour stream.
So first of all, that clip is edited. It's edited. I'm going to tell you where. It's edited in little different ways to make it look like they all were like, no. You have to endure the physical abuse, blah, 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 blah. What's not edited is the guy in the suit. I don't know his name, but we're going to call him Mr. Endure because I guess that's what
he is. MLD, according to
that's listen. So he on the stream for 5.5 hours was the most annoying. I would rather have those girls any day than him. He kept talking over everybody. He got to the point where the chat wanted him muted, like it was bad.
They paid to have him muted for her.
Paid to have him muted there was a super chat, like $100 was like, can you please mute his mic? Like he's driving us crazy. He was talking over everybody, especially the women. He would make little side jokes with like Chase, and I can't think of the other guy's name, with Chase and the guy that was next to him, and they would laugh and giggle and like just try and talk over it. Now Chase, I like Chase a lot. I really like Chase, but this is what started this conversation. The girl in the pink is Destiny's wife. For those of you who don't know who Destiny is, he's the blue-haired Twitch streamer that's everywhere. He and her have an open relationship. They sleep with other people. So that was what the podcast itself was about. Like there was a lot of questions. People were like, how does this work? Blah, blah, blah. If you know anything about Destiny, you know he's basically a male feminist. And so he defends all these decisions, blah, blah. He does have good arguing points, though. I give him kudos. He can argue. I mean, honestly, the man.
He's a master debater.
He's a master space debater. But so the clip is edited. That girl is Destiny's wife. She was grilling Chase. What they don't show in this clip, and I don't know who made this clip, it doesn't matter, but what they don't show in this clip was the start of that conversation, which was her trying to get Chase to break with his faith. She was trying to figure out, well, Christianity and God is stupid because you can't get divorced. And Chase is like, no, you absolutely can get divorced. That's a fallacy. That's not true. And he was trying to explain to her what this situation was, like what the circumstances would be: adultery, physical abuse in the eyes of the church. Now, the law is different, but in the eyes of the church, like that's all very valid. And she just kept poking at him. And so she then was like, well, what about, but men abuse their wives all the time. It happens every single day. It happens every 5 seconds. You don't even know, blah, blah, blah. And Chase is like, statistically, that's not true. And he was trying to tell her the statistics. And that's when this started. So she goes in and she's like, well, you get married at 18, 19, 20, and you're a year in your relationship and you're getting beaten and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, you are going to this super extreme case. And she even escalates it at one point where she talks about like grape and all of these things. And that's when he's like, you're talking about an extreme circumstance that I can't speak to because A, he's not a lawyer, and B, no matter what he says is going to get him in trouble, kind of thing. You know what I mean? So this clip is very well edited to make those guys look idiotic, whereas MLD was really the only one that was an idiot because he flat out, and whether he really thinks that or not, I don't know, but the way he was responding to her, and he was like this the entire 5 hours, he was just like, no, you have to endure. You can't get divorced. But if she's a slut, then you can get divorced and blah, blah, blah. Oh my God, it was awful. I was like,
that's the thing that I don't love about a lot of we'll call it the extreme red pill, where, a lot of the stuff the onus is put on women, which, whatever, if you're angry at women, I totally get it. But when we try to frame a question about physical abuse, I think once is more than enough.
Right.
It doesn't even matter if it's a man or a woman. If a woman lays a hand on a man, wow, okay. OZ 150. What did you do, Frog Fans?
That's who that is. Up high. Okay.
But yeah, if you lay a hand on anyone in a relationship, that line, it means that there is a likeliness of repetition of happening again. Doesn't matter the gender. So him saying endure really irks me so much.
It's so bad because he doesn't, and there is a point in, because they all start talking over each other because she gets like super pissed and the other girls get super mad. Like, this is why nobody likes you guys, because you think you can be beaten, and Chase and the other guy are like, no, that's not what we're saying. What we're saying is you need to endure in your relationship. There are circumstances that obviously are not the same. And Chase flat out was like, you guys always go to this extreme. You always go to, well, what if he holds me down on my wedding night and grapes me and humiliates me in front of everybody and then beats me to a pulp, and then I have one leg for the rest of my life? Like, he's like, you always do this every single time we talk about this. You always bring up this argument that's just like the worst case scenario possible. He's like, do you even know what those statistics are? They're this much of the population. Like, come on. It was what that clip does, and again, I don't know who made it, is makes her look like she's winning the argument when really she's an antagonistic little 20-year-old foreign brat who wanted to make a point about how bad Christianity was, and she made MLD look really bad in the process.
I mean, I honestly did not think I don't think that Chase looked bad in that clip at all. In my opinion, like I don't think he looked bad, even with the clipping of it. And I did watch the whole stream. Mind you, I might have been distracted while watching it. I think the more important part is just MLD's reaction to the conversation, because it's like he totally ignores it. And the fact that he said, cheating is worse than physical abuse. It's like, I mean, I wouldn't like either or. I'd probably equal it to each other. In all honesty, emotional pain is pretty bad. You don't see the scars, but it's pretty bad.
Yeah, emotional abuse.
And then with physical abuse, of course, there might be scars and bruises and stuff like that. And it's a bit more, you can prove it versus emotional abuse.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I don't want to knock anything about Christianity. I think in a fight, sure, endure that, please. Like people do give up on relationships. I believe MLD is at right about that at least, minus the physical abuse.
But he would not, and he wouldn't come out and clarify. Now, of course, it's been 3 days later and he's trying to backtrack, but he flat out, and he was not, I don't like him. I'm not defending him at all, but I want people to know who didn't sit through the 5-hour stream that clip is edited. It's not edited in a way that like they're taking people's words out of context or anything. They're not, but it's spliced. I guess spliced is probably the better word. It's spliced in a certain way to make it look like she was dominating the conversation and making these guys look stupid, when in reality, MLD is a terrible person and he ran his mouth and now he has to backtrack. And she was trying to make Chase look bad because he's a Christian, and she was trying to step him up and be like, well, you know, with your Christianity, I may be in an open relationship, but I can leave whenever I want to. Your faith, you can't leave. Once you're married, that's it. You're forced to stay there, even though you don't like each other, blah, 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 blah. And they were like, well, yeah, you have to endure. That's the commitment you made. And she was like, well, what if, and then she goes into like, well, what if this horrible thing happens? And he's like, that's like this much of the population. Like, what are you talking about? Oh, anyway, so that's, MLD is terrible.
Yes. And it's funny because I actually didn't think he was like super horrible. The clip didn't make him look any better than what my thoughts of him were. But then, so I watched an Abba and Preach video pretty recently, and I shared it with Tugs. And so he had been on a, what I call a
tour. I call him tour.
You know, just trying to save face tour. So he went on Valuetainment 2 days later, and this is the clip from it.
Everything else.
So,
if you care as much as you claim, that's all I'm saying.
Keep going in the relationship.
Keep going.
You can't divorce, and that's not a real thing.
Even though it might be like physically abusive.
You got to endure. People are too.
You want to stick in the relationship.
People are just.
I mean, look,
people
I'm gonna be
nowadays
honest.
are just.
For anyone that might be in that situation, what would you recommend?
Okay,
endure.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what.
Endure.
It is such an extreme example that I can't give a prescription for what other people should do.
See that part right there? It's cut in a way to make it look like he's answering that direct statement that she said right before it, but it was really like 10 minutes later.
Yeah.
It's spliced a way, and I don't know if the person who made it like did that on purpose or if they were just trying to get like the point across. But either way, it's just so everybody knows it's spliced. I just want you guys to know that.
And like, look at this. I agree. Marriage is a lifetime commitment, for better or worse. There are a few things that I think that are okay for leaving your partner. Physical abuse, repetitive emotional abuse, and gaslighting. Like legit emotional abuse and gaslighting, not like, you know, oh, he told me to take the trash out, that's gaslighting type of thing. And anything to do with kids, like,
yes. And I'm of the opinion too, like, and I get where the other guy, not MLD specifically, but where these guys were coming from, where it's like, no, you need to stick it out for the kids. Like, yes, that is worse for the kids. Divorce is bad, you know, than cheating or whatever. Yes, not physical abuse, but yes, divorce is very hard on kids. For those of you who have not been there, count your blessings, okay? But it's not easy. And yes, they are Destiny and that girl, and for life, you know, remember her name. They are legally married. They have been for like 4 years. She's a green card wife.
Yeah, and they're in an open relationship, and it's I think it as they explained in this podcast, it only works because Destiny has a platform and is famous. So
that's the impression I got too.
Yeah,
if he was some normal Joe Schmo,
heck no,
he would be miserable.
Yeah,
miserable. But he also supposedly goes both ways. Didn't he say he goes both ways too, or is that just her? Yeah. So there's that.
There we go. His market has opened up really wide.
Yeah, he gets girls, she gets guys, she gets girls, but they approve of each other's people.
Yeah, no, it's both. They both get it. Yeah, like when he goes on tour for Twitch or whatever, and she stays home, like that's a thing. Yes, the blue-haired guy. Yep. So
huge on Twitch. He's like one of the most famous Twitchers.
Out there.
Yeah. Anyway,
days later, because I guess what they're trying to say is like if a man is continuously beating a woman in a relationship,
physical abuse,
right? So they're trying to say that I'm saying that if a man is continuously beating a woman in a relationship, that he and her should stay and endure the thing. That's not what I said at all. But I did say if there was one instance, because
Okay, so I mean, like, okay, to be fair, he might have thought one way, it came out another, but
You get and listen, you'll never know because we're not in people's heads. However, as Aberrant Priests will teach us,
they have receipts on this, which is
so many receipts.
So many receipts, which I'm like, I did not know this came out. It just, judging by the clip, I was not very happy about obviously what he said. And, you know, he is an influencer. When you're an influencer, what you say really does affect other people.
Yeah.
So regardless, it just sounds like when a guy hears it, and especially if he's, you know, very far on that side of things.
Hi!
What's up? Hi, Andrew. You're looking very white today, is what I'm hearing.
I am. I have my white girl hat on today.
Oh my gosh. So they found receipts, and this is not just pictures of receipts. It's video screen recordings, because it's harder to doctor those than it is to doctor a screenshot.
Yes.
Punched a Latina bitch in the face at Rakon. What's Rakon?
It's a club in Japan.
Apparently he did this.
He lives over there. He was talking shit to some guy. I guess people just linking the group chats. He was talking shit to some guy, and the guy said to him, "Well, at least I've never been arrested for glassing a bitch." And he's like, "Yo, why are you so sensitive? Are you gonna leave next?" So that's the MLD saying, like, "Why are you so sensitive? Why are you bringing that up?" And the guy says, "I'm not sensitive, just giving back some." And then MLD says, "You act like that's the last bitch I'll smite on this planet."
Oh, goodness.
Excuse me.
Excuse me? You're smiting who? Anytime somebody unironically uses the word smite, I always think of Jim Carrey and Bruce Almighty, where he's like, "Smite me, oh mighty smiter."
Oh, this guy is just a piece of work.
I think it's very bizarre that someone accuses or says that you bottled a woman in the face. And
let's see if we can. Okay, so let me just read this. Also, how would you kill this biche for being so disgusting? Personally, I think a good old-fashioned bludgeoning is the way to go. Big old monkey wrench to the head.
Oh my god! And why? Because she's fat? Is that why? Because she's a chunky?
I don't know. And there's just more. Time to be Aya.
Aya is. Who is Aya?
I don't know who that is either. But he has a lot of receipts here.
I will glass a beach with a champagne bottle. First of all, we will not be wasting champagne to glass anybody. Okay, sir. In this economy, sir. Please.
Yeah, and then the worst is, so when he was in, I forgot which country he was, but when he was in Asia, apparently he got charged for glassing a biche and leaving her with scars. A scar across the face. And also, your Instagram tag is hot dude life.
Is that his real name? Jonathan Hogwood? Oh,
yes.
Docs that. Ooh, I probably shouldn't have read that.
It's out there already. It's out there already. But like, still, your tag is hot dude life. How cringe. Oh my gosh.
You're not even that hot. I'm sorry, but you're not. I mean, listen, I say this coming as a 5, okay? The 5s don't think you're attractive. It's the money.
Yeah.
I just don't understand. Now, here's the, hold on, Shaka Zulu, I see you. Why do these people represent normal Christian men? It's kind of why I hate the show. To be fair, I don't know, and I could be wrong. I don't remember, and maybe X-Girl can. I don't think MLD ever said anything about being religious. I could be wrong, but I don't think he ever did. Chase is very big. He's a huge Christian, born again. I guess you can use the term if you would like. That kind of thing. So he has his convictions and stuff. But MLD, I don't, at least from that podcast, I don't remember him talking about that. It was brought up because Chase is such a believer. So Destiny and his wife tried to like challenge Chase on it. But I don't think MLD is
judging by the way he speaks, I would not. And I'm not religious. Like I can't imagine any religious person saying that about any woman, because, and I've said this a lot, you don't have to be the nicest person in the world, but if you're kind, that is a big leap and bound. Like when people go on shows like this, You know, if you call girls hoes, whores, all that, I'm not going to love that because it's like, why are you grouping people together? You don't know each person individually, and you can be kind and still think a girl is, you know, doing her thing. You don't have to call everyone a rude name, despite what you think, if they're against what you think is right. And, you know, him, MLD, he does that a lot on these shows from what I've seen.
Yeah, it's like he's over women. You know what I mean? Anytime, and I mean anytime any one of them opened their mouth, he was immediately talking over them and cutting them off and just being rude. I think Chase at one point called him out on it. The chat, literally, somebody donated $100. I think it was $100 and was like, "Can you please mute his mic?" And people were like, "Mute Hugh's mic, or mute whose mic?" And I think one of the girls was like, "MLD." He's probably talking about MLD. I don't remember who it was. One of them. Somebody immediately was like, "Oh, MLD." They're talking about MLD. And
which was funny because the girl that was like autistic, I'm not a fan of her either, but like she has her moments which are a little funny. They're not amazingly funny, but they're a little funny. And so, oh no, I actually know the guy. Unfortunately, he isn't Christian and he is very hyperbolic. But to be fair, that's pretty much standard for the RP podcast, just to try to go viral. And I mean, like, you can be however you want to be, but just know that, like, especially on the internet, people judge you for what you say, what you do, and
and I
actions
think it
speak
would
louder
be
than words.
different if he didn't have, like, whoever posted these messages. I don't know who it was. Like, you violated the group chat code, bro, but that's fine. Whoever posted messages and did all this research about his legal battles and all that stuff, like, if you were on the podcast and you were trying to egg it on and do it for the clips, because that is mentioned several times in that particular stream. Destiny brings it up all the time. Oh, Brian's doing that because he wants the clips. Chase
Clip
is saying
farming,
that
yeah.
because he wants the clips, but that, right? Fine. Didn't come out and say, yeah, I said that because I want the clips. You know, I don't actually feel that way. But if you come out and say that and you have behavior over here that is the exact opposite, then that's a problem.
Oh my God, Andrew, I know the guy who doxed and pulled up. I'll drop his IG real quick.
Listen, it's not, we don't approve of doxing here, but at the same time, like, bro, like, you have these receipts where you're in your bro code chat or your group chat with people and you're talking about hitting women and hurting women and blah 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 blah. But and on this podcast over here, you're like, "Oh no, I didn't mean it that way. I didn't mean it that way. That's not what I was saying." But then over here, that is exactly what you were saying, and your legal battles say exactly that's what you were saying. So which, like, the case is against you, my guy. It's against you. Okay.
Well, and I don't know, at least in wherever he was at that legal battle, because apparently, according to the video, Abba and Preach said it was settled, so it wasn't anything that went very far. But
what, the girl on the cheek?
yeah, like,
Yeah, they said they
I don't know
settled
if
in.
that is like whichever country it is. You know how like a lot of countries things are public. If it
Mhm.
goes to the legal system, unless it's kids, you probably could find it pretty easily.
Probably could, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the other countries do. I mean, because it would depend. But Abin Preach said that he settled with her, this girl that allegedly hit with the glass and like cut her face and stuff. Apparently, he settled with her money while, like, he settled, so he paid her, and she won't come forward about it. So,
I have the doxer's Instagram.
Ooh.
Mac
Booty
gamer.
That's YouTube.
All I just saw was booty. Yeah, that's true. I'm sorry. It's okay. We might just get yellowed on that. But anyways,
smiley face sticker over it.
Oh, they're not public. You cannot find it. Also, it was dropped. Frankly, they don't give much of a damn if two foreigners fight.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And supposedly paid her out. According to Abba and Preach, he paid her out. You know, this guy kind of looks like, yeah, I can see that. He's a
either way, his behavior, even before knowing all of this on the shows that I've seen him on, he's not a nice person. And whether or not that's an act or not, because I will at least say we've seen people who have online personalities that seem abrasive. They can be nicer in person. But the way he speaks to women, I think it's very telltale, because even the people who are abrasive in our sphere, they're not that rude to women or the opposite sex or whatever it is. So
This Instagram is full of bum.
Booty.
A fun fact for anybody who's going to click on it. It's full of bum.
Yeah. If you want to find some booty, click on that link.
Weird.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So anyone, if you're in a physically abusive, please leave that relationship. Things can happen just once. It's very rare. Very rare. It takes a lot of therapy. Might need to go to therapy. And even emotionally abusive, it's hard to find, but if it happens, please get out. Andrew says, correct. That is exactly my point, which we discussed. You can make strong points, but not be an actual beep. Beep. I don't have oh wait, I have this. You can, but not be an actual.
There you go. Good timing. It's troubling with this guy. It is troubling. And that's the thing, right? Is guys like this are also getting the platforms, like where the Chases are getting a platform. And I personally really like Chase. So don't ruin my fun legal mindset. I see you, Andrew. I like Chase a lot. For every good guy, there's guys like this, and guys like this also have the same platform as the other guys do. Like there's some young buck somewhere looking at MLD going, oh, it'd be just like that.
Yeah. Oh, he looks like he has nice cars, nice clothes. He seems like he gets the ladies. So, and he has coaching. His MLD means modern life dating. So he does interpersonal coaching. I think Brittany showed me his prices. It's pretty expensive, a couple $100 for like not even under an hour. It's under an hour.
Yeah, it's bad.
I don't know. What can you learn in that little of time that's going to change your life? So it's very interesting to see. D-Day says modern life grifting.
It really has become that. It really has.
It has, because platforms like this is a great way to expose your content to other people, especially if you market it right. And I will say, Chase seems like the actual good guy in a lot of these. Hi, Kara. In a lot of these situations, because he thought things through. He's able to articulate things well, and he has experience. And this is something that, I don't want to take away from men or women. Experience does give you a lot of value, especially when you make mistakes. You will learn a lot from it. And sometimes you need to make a lot of mistakes in order to grow. I'm a person that has made a lot of mistakes. And I think that I can impart a lot of good stuff. If you want to hear, I get it.
Way more knowledgeable than I am. That's for sure.
Yeah. If you ever need someone to talk to, I'm a great person to talk to.
You're wiser than me. Help.
but it's come with a lot of mistakes, and talking to my friends who've made mistakes as well. I always call my one girlfriend, I call it secondhand therapy. She went to therapy for whatever, and then she talks to me about it. I'm like, that all makes sense now why I feel that.
Listen, Andrew, don't you ruin it.
Andrew says, let's have a separate conversation on Chase. I have thoughts. MLD is legit wealthy and has significant clients. Some of his advice is good, but you've got to pull good advice from the personality. And a lot of things are like that. People can give good advice. Myron gives great advice. Do I think he's a nice person all the time? No, I've seen his show. My heart gets broken whenever he's mean to girls. But, it is part of the show and why it's done so well for his audience. So.
General RP advice, like get fit, make more money, be more confident, is good advice. No, well, I feel like that's good advice for everybody. Yeah. Well, maybe not girls with the money thing, but yeah. I believe he's I wouldn't call him. Well, yes.
Yes.
What are they calling these guys? They're not calling them relationship coaches. They're like life coaches. I don't know. Andrew could probably tell you, but Ken Samuels.
I would say life coach, because a lot of women who go to people who are like this are life coaching to better themselves, essentially, whatever better means to them. Every person's definition is different for that.
Yeah, but it's geared towards men. These guys are geared towards men specifically. If you want ones that are geared towards women, that's Allie, Real Femme Sapien. Rebecca Barrett would be a good one. I just would listen to Brett Cooper in general. She doesn't do it as a coaching channel, but just go watch her videos, and she's very smart, that one. But yeah, I would say Real Femme Sapien and Rebecca Barrett would probably be your best female ones.
I actually think that they're really great. They especially Allie, she comes from a lot of data, and she's very interested in that aspect. And
Yeah.
both of them, actually, Rebecca and Allie, are first started out liberal minded,
Yes.
changed to conservative
Yep.
because of life experience. And I say this with it's a good thing, because now you know what the other side of the coin is and how you felt. You know, you can ask any girl, I don't know about guys, but any girl, that when you have your hoe phase and after you're done, how do you feel? Do you feel complete? Do you feel better about what happened? I'm gonna guarantee most, if not all, are gonna say they don't feel good.
Yeah.
So prove me wrong out there. If you really legitimately think your hoe phase made you feel better after all of that, tell me. I would love to hear it. I would really love to hear it. Tara says, real manosphere stuff is learning from other men on stuff till you're capable of going on yourself. The idea is to live the life you want to. I love that. I love that. And it's the same thing with women. We need to learn how to actually learn from other people's mistakes. Because I never wanted to learn from other people. I had to go and make those mistakes myself.
Yep.
And I think that's a cycle that every generation is making each and every single time. And it's part of being young when you're selfish and think, I need to experience things myself. You don't know anything. You don't know what it's like to be me. And then legitimately, I told my parents this. Mom, I'm so sorry I didn't listen to you. You were so right about so many things and I ignored it. And I think that happened around at least 26, 27 for me. I don't know. When did that happen for you, Tugs?
Oh, I've never said my mom was right about anything.
Oh, oh no.
Yes, I don't remember. I probably about that time. I think you're mid-20s as you grow, because you're on your, in theory, you're on your own, you're paying your bills at that point. If you're really lucky, you're married. But if you're not, you're on your own, you're paying your own bills, you have to buy your own groceries, you have to learn how, cook and all this stuff, and you kind of realize like your parents are like, duh. You're waking up to taxation is theft and these bills are stupid and the government is useless and whatever. That kind of thing. And your parents are going, yeah, we know.
We've been there. We've been there. What do you think we've gone through our whole lives? And then we tell you every single day. Oh my gosh. So I guess we'll see what ends up happening with that.
He's
stuff.
definitely on the tour right now. So
yeah.
Good luck,
I mean, pedaling back, because like I said, if he actually meant what he said in that Valuetainment podcast, like if he actually meant,
I like Valuetainment.
it's like articulating what you mean, but sometimes it takes a moment. You should stop and think, what am I trying to say, and how do I say this right without?
And I do get, if this is blown out of proportion, let's pretend it is for a minute, and Mark's gonna roast me. But let's pretend that is what it is. I know on these podcasts, like it having been to one now, and ours wasn't even that bad, but these girls get to a point where you're just like, oh my God.
So much talking. So much talking. You can't get a word in.
So you blurt stuff. Now, we didn't do that, thank God, because I think both of us were like, we're just going to.
Well, it was like watching FNT and being on FNT, but with females.
God. Yeah. And those guys blurt stuff out all the time. Oh my God, these guys say stuff. And you're just like, geez, Louise. Ladies, where are my ladies in the chat?
If you're in Korea or Thailand, I think.
If you are a K in front of your name.
We got our boy Andrew. Oh my gosh.
Have at it, ladies. Where's Nomi? Nomi!
Oh, that's true. Mark says it's not hard to be polite to people who are being nice to you. For some people it is. It's who you are when you're at your worst that your character is shown. And that is facts.
That's very true.
So I have said this a lot about relationships. I like knowing what it's like to be in a fight. So I know your conflict resolution, because you can be happy and joyful with anyone. But when you get in a fight, things
Yep.
could go from 0 to
Yeah.
2,000 depending on who you
Or
are.
you're under pressure, like get a flat tire kind of thing. Yeah.
Traveling in a car for hours, late
Yep.
for an airplane. You're going to see some personalities that you have never seen before.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So I
Luckily,
highly
Jake
recommend
is
getting a fight.
listening.
Wow. If you're in Asia, not a complete
You can be a little bit of a beep, but not a complete beep.
a little might be okay. I don't know what your type is yet. From what I can tell, fun. After that, I'm not sure what other qualities you're looking for. Short term or no. Maybe short term I know. Long term. I don't know what the long term qualities you want yet. Mark says he's a dude who flat out said within the last week that the only reason women think they can get away with talking to him the way they do is that he can't legally knock them out.
Ooh, backhanded. Whack.
And you're talking about MLD, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Dang.
Mark is on the anti-MLD train. I'm here for it. He's very passionate. I'm here for it.
And for those who are interested in Andrew in Asia, hot, fun, nice. That's it. It's not asking for much, guys. Okay.
Mark sent you the podcast.
In that order.
The podcast has been sent, says X.
Oh, text, Twitter. There's so many ways to see this.
Is there
Now,
a timestamp?
do we want to see some more drama with the whatever podcast?
I mean, we might as well. We're on the roll. Let's go for
We're
it.
on the roll.
Listen, whatever podcast has blown up really big, really quickly, and I think poor Brian just does not know.
Well, and we were talking about like just Brian is he's a very laid back host in general. And I don't think he can control the podcast very well, especially with strong personalities.
Yeah, well, that's why he has Chase with him a lot of the time. Is Chase is his, as we found out, we'll go over it, but I think he's invested in the podcast. I don't even know, but Chase co-hosts a lot, and Chase is the kind of yin to Brian's yang a little bit. He's a little bit more assertive, so he can get a little bit more control, whereas Brian's just like, I feel like he gets stressed out very quickly.
I feel like he just lets the drama happen because then he can clip farm things, as I like to call it. You know, it's fine.
Yeah.
I think it's good to admit to that. Oh, I can't find that original clip. Did it get deleted?
The PP one?
Yeah. The original. Oh no. Did I screenshot it and I didn't send it myself? But pause, please. We're gonna go look on Twitter. Sovereign Bra. You want to look for it? Okay.
Yeah.
So Andrew says, yeah, not trying to be an apologist, just stating facts. I know he isn't smart for sure. Ooh, ouch. Hey, you don't have to be smart to make money in the internet. But we do have J.H. Schwalbach, who I believe is very smart. For 6214 says, I don't get any of this, but I'll go smack my woman right now. I heard she's Greek turned Asian. Wait, she's
good luck, buddy.
Back, and she a little crazy. I'll go for Hughes. Playing it safe. I mean, a light booty tap is, I personally like that. A light booty tap. I think it's nice to have a little booty tap every now and then.
Scrolling.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do in a relationship. And I think, it makes sense.
I found it.
Perfect. You want to share it?
Do I have to? Yeah,
well, whatever podcast is a knockoff of Fresh and Fit, but
I think they all are at this point, to be honest.
But I will say Fresh and Fit has more control over their guests than the whatever podcast. This clip is so cringe. Oh my God.
I didn't even, to be honest with you, I didn't even watch it just because I get with the topic. Okay, here we go. Wait, did I share audio? Hold on. Please hold.
So this is a clip for like a sponsor clip.
Okay.
And I'll give you my thoughts afterwards on how I feel about this product.
With like
a really high quality AI sex robot, like in 10 years or some shit.
Like if
Like anybody down to like with a sex robot?
No,
I'm
so weird.
I'll raise my hand.
No, come on.
I'm down. Let's.
never.
I need more for the
For real? Or are you just shitting with us? Like,
I'm dead serious. Bring on the sex robots.
Okay.
I'm for it.
you did
Show of hands. Who here has ever used a sex toy?
sex.
Probably worse, actually, if a dude's masturbating as compared to using a black pussy.
Oh my god.
Because,
I
like,
think it's
bro, nobody bats an eye if a girl has a vibrator or dildo, like she's in touch with her sexuality, whatever. But if a dude has a pocket pussy, all of a sudden,
I hate that word.
he's less than, he's looked down upon.
I don't agree with either.
Speaking of, we have something in the studio here. Shania, you were talking about, you know, putting it on the table. So what I'm going to have you reveal this and then just put it on the table, please.
Me.
Yeah, that one.
So cringe.
I have here
Oh my god.
what's called an auto blow.
No.
I don't want to see this. This is freaky.
Okay.
And it's actually, so this is a auto blow AI. And what it does,
You should not be promoting this.
and hold on. So you turn it on, turn the switch.
That's
Jesus,
horrifying.
too, huh?
That's like so dystopian.
What if you're like really girthy?
It's the Ferrari of fellatio.
Oh my god.
It's the Jaguar
Oh,
of
it's a
jacking
mouth.
off. It's the Bugatti of blowjobs. And it's got 10 different speed settings. Use code whatever, 10%
I was gonna say
off.
use code
Link in the
bio.
Ah,
I feel like you need a.
Oh my god,
Oh
it was
my
a
God.
sponsorship for a blowjob. Yeah, anyways. So I found that clip
That's my first time watching that clip, by the way. Go ahead. I have thoughts too. You'll
and
both
it's
start
like,
with you.
okay, so I think about what a great product for the audience you have. Because I do not think that a lot of the audience that you have are these high value men that are getting a lot of women, which is fair. But if you are trying to make high value men, are they really going to resort to this?
No. That's so weird. I know that's so weird to me. So this clip gets clipped. Hold on. So for more context, this clip gets clipped. Let me share this again. This is where the drama comes in. And maybe Andrew, I'm sure Andrew knows these guys or some of them and he can share some light. But this guy, Brandon, who I don't know.
I don't know
So
him,
why
but
is
that's
the
fine.
host of whatever podcast promoting Pocket? I will not say that word. Yeah, exactly. Thought these guys were supposed to be the pinnacle of masculinity. Even the e-thoughts they plucked off the street are repulsed by it. Absolutely sickening behavior. Okay, so the e-thoughts are repulsed by it because that means that they know that they're out of a job.
But I mean, like,
But also-
girl, and I will agree with this. Girls are, females, they're allowed to have mechanical toys. It's very we'll call it mainstream,
Mhm.
Everyone has a black box, or not everyone, but a lot of women have a black box. So I feel like toys for men are not as mainstream.
It's not, and they're looked down upon, which and DJ Direwolf is right, and even Brian brings it up in that clip. Like, okay, well, you guys have. There's a thing called the rose. It's about this big, and it's in the shape of a rose, and it does exactly what that thing does. It sucks, it vibrates, it does all kinds of whatever is geared towards women. For we all know where it goes, and it's specifically geared towards that. And that thing, they can't stay in stock. Like that's how good they are, supposedly. According to TikTok. But it's a new thing. So it's basically the same thing, but everybody's repulsed by, including myself. I don't use any of that stuff, but
Hey, I always say this, what you do in your own home is up to you. That's your business.
it just is interesting. It's weird to me. So he posts that, and Chase, so what started the drama was Chase saw this tweet. If you go in the comments on the original tweet from Brandon, somebody tags Chase. And so Chase, this is Sovereign Bra. If you guys want to go follow him, that's Chase from the Whatever podcast, the Christian guy. He clips it or quote tweets it and says, I spoke with Brian on the phone after seeing this clip earlier today. I'll tell you all what I told him. He can monetize his show however he wishes, but if this is the route, I'm done making appearances / helping grow the show's success. This is my line in the sand. My goal on the show has always been to do my best to glorify God, help men understand dating/women better, and help heal the divide between the sexes. Pushing stuff like this further contributes to the weakening of men and the destruction of our civilization. Not going to support it. And then he asks for prayers for healthier relationships, sponsorship opportunities, blah, blah. So that's what yeah, that's all how we found out. At least that's how I found out. Chase sponsors that show because he does say if you would like to sponsor the show, like this is something that you're okay with, you can email Brian at this address. Minimum rate is $5,000 per episode.
I mean, that's just the marketing money per episode to have on for product, which is fine because I think that, you know, this podcast has done really well. It has great numbers. It's well watched by a lot of people from different ages, sexes, and I won't lie, it is entertaining at times.
Oh yeah.
It is entertaining. I think it's great having a panel discussion, especially when you get that many people on, and he's getting greater guests almost every month. Andrew says, that being said, I don't care about people selling sex toys. I interviewed a guy who sells sex toys, YOLO. Honestly, I don't either, but it's interesting when a podcast trying to increase value for people sells a product that might end up holding them back.
Yeah, it's just weird to me to have this kind of a podcast and then promote something like that. That's weird. And also, what a weird way to do it. Why don't you just in the beginning just be like, and also we have a sponsor for this episode that's Nut Chase, yay, and it's Fleshlight or whoever the company is, and thank you so much, and you can use code whatever, and I don't know, send one to Destiny, or I don't know, make it funny, but to do it in the middle, I was just weird.
And make the girl pick it up. And turn it on.
I'm not touching it.
That was, I honestly would not want to touch it, but that's just me. Like, it was my first question, but was this used?
Yeah, that was really weird that he made her, like, why? I don't know. The whole thing was really weird. So then it started this big fight. Big fight, I guess, is a little bit dramatic, but it started this discussion.
It's a lot of grifting, which is fine. Trust me, we know people who grift. I might do it a little bit myself, but I'm very transparent about it. I'm pretty transparent.
Everybody does it at some point.
And
this is. Go ahead.
Well, no, I was going to share that, but you can go ahead.
I'm gonna zoom in. Sorry, guys. I updated my screens and they're all wonky. Oh,
do you want me to? Dogs. Here we go. Whatever podcast, and this was deleted, by the way.
Yes. So Brian, I'm assuming he tweets from his own account. That would be my guess. Tweets this out, and then she sends this to me, and I was like, "Oh snap! Like, what is that about?" She goes, "I think it's about Chase." I'm like, "Oh my god!"
It makes so much sense.
I go back and look at it because, of course, I want to read the comments because why not? And we'll see if Chase responded. Not that I saw. And he deleted it.
He goes, "Do I continue to platform someone who publicly gave me an ultimatum, backstabbed me, and pushed 1 million plus impressions on a hater tweet thread that calls me a rat scum and insults my physical appearance?" I don't know if it was him or not.
We don't know if this is about Chase because the first part, sure, because Chase did say that he told Brian, but it was
an ultimatum.
Talked to him on the phone, and he never made fun of his appearance, and he never called him a rat or scum. So I honestly have no idea who he's talking about here. We thought it might have been Chase at first, but the more you read it, it's like, what? That doesn't make any sense. So
I will say Chase is at least coming from a background where it's his religion, it's what he grew up with, so to speak, even though he's kind of born again and he's kind of really just holding it as true value for his life and the way he's living it now. So it's very interesting. We don't know. But it was deleted. So who even knows?
Who even knows? I did manage to find some replies that were like still floating around in the search things, and people were kind of arguing about whether or not like Chase, Chase is going to leave. Like, oh, nobody will miss him. And a bunch of people were like, actually, he's the reason I watched the show, which is honestly at this point, same. This guy is, I don't know why you ever promoted that device to begin with, considering your audience, which he's right. like, yeah, the super rich, high value guys aren't going to go buy this, but that's not what, like, you're supposedly, whether we all agree with it or not, you're supposedly doing this podcast to bring awareness and blah, 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 blah. And you're going to promote something like that. Like, what? Huh? It doesn't make any sense. I don't understand.
And why was it
everybody thinks
deleted?
it's about Chase. Nobody knows whose it's about. He's deleted it, and now he goes going back to tweeting like his streams or whatever. But it's like, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah, Kayla here is like, I only started watching because they were on.
Because Chase was on, and I like it when he's on because he does really good about balancing. Like, I think he brings a different dynamic to it. It's really interesting to me. But yeah, there's quite a few people that were like, well, we're not going to watch if he's gone. So I guess we'll find out. I don't know if he's had
honestly
sense, but
I think he brought a lot of equilibrium to the show with the type of girls that they brought on. And it will suck if he doesn't come back on. Whatever, guy's a grifter. And this is the thing, guys. I actually don't think Chase has traditional values. In that last podcast with Destiny, I did listen on this part. Give me a take that is controversial. He said that he doesn't believe a guy should pay for the first date.
Oh yeah, he did say that. Yeah.
Which, yes, it's controversial, sure. But that makes me think that's more liberal mindset.
Yeah.
To go 50-50 on the first date. Now, I've said this out loud. I think a first date is great with coffee if you are unsure if you feel any feelings towards this guy. It's a great way to start talking, which is fine. And Tugs definitely disagrees, but she dates a bit differently how I dated back in the day.
Oh yeah, definitely. So. Well, and he could be, and I don't know, like I just started watching, so I don't know much about him and just piecing things together. And he could be like, yeah, he's traditional in the sense that when he's dating somebody and when he's with someone, blah, 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 then yeah, you want to follow these traditional steps and be Christian and blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, like Frog just said, where did it go? He said where'd you go? There you are. He said men shouldn't pay the first date because women aren't traditional. So I get that may be where he's coming from too. And then if that's a thing and then they get into a relationship, then I don't know. And he just may be traditional in the sense that he has those Christian values. And nowhere in Christianity does it say men have to pay for the first date. So, I mean, I didn't see that in the Bible. So.
Well,
that may be a thing. I have no idea.
My immediate thought goes, he's been on a lot of first dates and he's been hurt through a lot of these first dates, which makes sense why he does not want to go pay for every first date. Because guess what? If you go on a lot of first dates through a month, say you go even one per week, $50, that's $200 in a month. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's
we went
a
out
lot
last
of money.
night for dinner. It was like $100 for just the two of us.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, that's like a basic, a basic place with one drink and the actual dinner.
And food. Yeah. Then that's what it was. Yeah. One drink and dinner and dinner each and appetizers, like $100.
Yeah.
Crazy.
John thinks these shows are going to trend for another year at max. Something new will come along, just like the free love era. Someone earlier said it was like modern Jerry Springer.
Yeah.
And legal mindset, you are very right here. Let's be real. 1 million plus are not tuning into Chase solo on a stream talking about TradCon stuff with no women. They tune in for the panel shows with women and the clips of the interaction. And I think that's where the power of the show comes from, because I saw the clips first, which was the hook, line, and sinker move.
Yeah.
And then brought me in, and now I'm watching these 4-5 hour streams because they're quite interesting, because there's always difference. And I think that's why I prefer to watch them over Carl and Fresh and Fit, because they're not always trashing on the girls. And I think having this discussion with a couple people from one side and a couple people from the other is more interesting for me. Because let's have a debate. I think it's great to have a debate, especially between two sides of people who are willing to talk to each other.
Yeah.
They don't have to agree, but willing to talk is a big thing for me.
Yeah. Yep.
So there we
Yeah.
go.
Having all these different opinions is definitely interesting.
And
That clip was just. Oof.
and look, in January when I started falling down this red pill hole, I was like, oh my God, this is so great. This is so amazing. This is nice to hear fresh opinions. And then it kept getting repetitive and repetitive and
It
repetitive.
does get repetitive. And the thing is, and Andrew's right, they're not going to watch Brian, but they watched Kevin Samuels. I mean, he had women.
Kevin had
calling.
opinions, though.
Hmm?
Kevin had opinions.
Yeah, well, I mean, but my point was that they watched him by himself. He would do streams where there would be women who called in or FaceTimed in, but his whole thing was by himself for the most part. So it's like, what is that different? Was he the last one? Because Fresh and Fit, they're not gonna watch Myron and Fresh either.
Because their channel was built upon these panel concepts.
Oh, yeah.
And then I will say Pearl has tried to branch out in a lot of different ways, but oh my gosh, what did Andrew say? Gotta bounce, but stay out of the RP holes, X-ray. I'll try not to get in
I'm
any
not
holes.
saying they didn't get more interaction. I'm not saying they didn't get more interaction, but I'm saying that people watched them. Like every time I would pop in one, there would still be a ton of views. Not as much, obviously not as much. No, I'm not saying it's more. I'm not saying it's more, but they still got a lot. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know. What's the difference? Is there a difference?
I would love to see Brian try to do one on his own. I don't know if he'd have the opinions and I mean, okay, let's just say this. You know, when we first started out on Twitch, the gaming streams, it was a little bit of a struggle. And let's give him a month solo streaming. After a month to 2 months,
he'd go back
see
to
where he's
pranking.
at.
He would go back to pranking. There's no way. There's no way.
I don't think he can do it. I really don't think he'd do it. I don't think he's strong enough personality.
Yes, I'll agree with Colin on this. I don't know about charisma, but I'll agree with you. He does not have a strong enough personality. Just watching the few live streams I watched from beginning to end instead of just the clips, he gets very flustered, very frustrated very quickly, or at least that's how it feels. He gets very, I don't know how to handle this. Like that stream with Destiny and them, there was a few times the whole panel was like, blah! And it was finally mostly Chase a lot of the time that was like, hey, all right, everybody calm down one at a time. MLD got in there a couple times, like, everybody shut up one at a time kind of things. So he just gets very, at least that's how it feels. He just gets very flustered, which I get.
Prove me wrong, Brian. I would love to see this. Please prove me wrong. I would, and like, hey, if he actually does do well on his own, good for you. But from what I've seen,
I just don't see it. I don't know. I don't know. I just hope it doesn't. That sucks because like you don't want to root for people's channels to get shut down.
No, and I think that he has had a great start in being where he was situated, having the girls from Santa Barbara. Now, the way he gets the girls on, it's a bit of it's interesting. It's kind of symbiotic where they get exposure for their whatever that they want. OnlyFans, Instagram, all that. And the guys get girls who are very, let's just say, liberal minded. And then they can do the thing that they do with their panel discussion. And I find that very interesting. But since they've had a lot more interest with higher profile influencers, I've been loving it. I only watch shows where I have no influencers on it. I don't watch shows where it's just the girls. Like I watched the Amala one, Ali one, Real Fen Sapien, the Rolo Michael Sartain one, and the Destiny one. And that's the only ones I've watched in the past little bit. But if it's just girls, I don't know. It just seems too wishy-washy for me. And that's okay. But yeah.
I was gonna say, I bet she was. It's the boobs.
I'm sure. She would eviscerate them.
Oh, absolutely. I'm sad she didn't go on. I would have loved to see that.
But yeah, we do have a couple super chats. Crash Mondo for 5 says, "Oh snap, y'all got an attorney for a mod now. Got to be on our best behavior." Honestly, Andrew is in gym. You don't have to be on your best behavior. He has to be on his best behavior. And Shaka Zulu, thank you for the $10. Much appreciated from you, sir. Okay. Hello, Wicked Virtue in the chat.
Hello, lady.
John says, I don't like to be associated with shows with red pill movement. They are manosphere. Saying red pill associates them with Jordan Peterson in that circle. Now, I have to do a little bit of research in the Jordan Peterson stuff. I'm not actually very familiar with that. So I'll have to do a little research. I don't know. Do you know Jordan Peterson and his values?
No, I have the 12 Rules of Life. I have not read it yet, but I have it. Yeah, I feel like red pill and manosphere are definitely different, but I also feel like it's gotten so confusing.
I think that they kind of get lopped together.
I do like Jordan Peterson, though. I really do like him.
And I mean, it's the internet. So anytime you say something inflammatory, things get grouped together and then you get labeled and then people get called isms, ists, and all that.
Yeah.
So whether it's true or not, you have to sift through the internet. And that's the thing. People will think what they want. And that's your prerogative. But if you want to really find the truth, you got to do your research.
Mm-hmm.
Just like Frog Finance said. Internet says I'm a racist. Must be true.
Ists and phobes everywhere.
Yeah.
Ists and phobes.
I mean, like, look, if anyone charges for their time or has a course, they're a grifter. I grift. I'm like, guys, pay me to drink wine. I'll be honest about it, though. That's the difference. If you want to see certain things about me, each channel has its own little niche.
This is true. Tara's and yes, he is a psychologist, which makes 12 Rules of Life really hard to read for those of us who are stupid.
12 Rules of Life by Jordan Peterson.
Yeah, that's his most famous book, and it's Dan Vasc loves it. He recommended it to me, and it's in my storage box right now. And it's hard to read because he's writing it from a psychologist standpoint. A lot of big words.
Very
Is there
interesting.
a dumbed down version of that? That'd be great. Thanks.
No,
I've never heard anybody call him red pill or anything like that either, so I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe he falls in that, but I have no idea.
Okay, so I have a clip where Steve Harvey goes off on the red pill community. I just thought it was funny.
I love Steve Harvey.
I just thought it was funny. I mean, like, some could be true, some might not be true. So it's a bit of a long clip. It's over a minute. So let's just see what
Steve Harvey got a point, though. That's what's wrong with this generation today. These young boys today, what do she bring to the table? The hell you mean, man? What do your ass bring to the table? You got a woman that can come to the table that can make another you. What else she need to slide up to the table with? What about your job? What happened to men who were supposed to be responsible? Do you know that it's our job to take care of a woman and some children, to have a family? That's our damn job. You know, if you think about serving your wife and you with a good woman, she'll serve you in return. I just don't like the mentality of.
Okay, I don't know. Was there any more?
Is that have lost.
Okay, so that
We're
was
just
really
gonna
it.
cut off Officer Tatum like that? Dang.
Oh, I mean, I was watching Steve Harvey.
He was preaching.
I'm sorry. I don't. Okay, before we watch Officer Tatum, then before we see his opinion, I think we should make our own opinion because this is my first time really watching this. I think Steve Harvey brings some good points, but I also think that women sometimes think they are too good for some of the men out there, and I think there's this little equality, like gotcha moment going on between both sexes, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that men, sure. Some men do have to step up to the plate, but then some women won't give the average man, and I say average meaning 45 to 50K earners. I don't know. Is that average in the States?
I think so. Yeah.
Like, look, like when we said on Access Vegas, what we wanted in a man, our minimum.
All those girls like this, like we were crazy.
Like what? No, we want average. We're okay with average because what we're looking for is not the average earner. We're looking for above average characteristics.
Yep.
And I see what Steve Harvey means because there are some guys who are saying, you need to do this. I need a woman to do this, blah, 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 blah. But Okay, tell me what you're bringing to the table. And I think it's on both sexes at this point. Let's just take the onus off of each other, because it's not fair. It's not fair to blame each sex for everything.
Yeah.
So, Omega Man, Steve is talking about men having the responsibility, but none of the authority. That's why these trads fail. You must have authority over that which you are responsible for. I love this statement because it's actually true. Because when we need a leader in the house, it is so hard when, especially with modern women today. And I have modern values, some modern values, not all. And I see it come up every now and then in my relationship with Mark. But guess what? I have to dial it back and think, okay, let him lead, let him do some things, let him be an expert in the things that he is an expert in. And when it's time for me to be an expert, I will be the expert in that sphere. And it's been this continuous work to try to control both of our personalities where it complements each other. And yes, Jason, team effort. And men or women are not equal, but that's why we try to figure out what complements each other. And guess what? Earlier today, Mark doesn't like to do this. I cleaned the drain. And guess what was in it?
Your hair.
Oh, God, it was disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Oh, my God. 2 years worth of my hair in that drain. As a joke, when he came up, I was like, honey, all your pubes were in the drain. It was just all your pubes. And he was like, what? He's like, I don't do anything in that drain. I was like, yeah, but it was still in there. And he was like, I tried to joke blame him. He didn't even understand it, to be honest. And yeah.
That's funny.
God. It's so interesting in the relationship dynamics, because since he is someone who cannot do some of the more, we'll call it dangerous responsibilities. And anytime there's a ladder involved, stuff like that, I don't expect him to do it, because he does other things that help me a lot. So you just gotta learn. You gotta learn. God, and I have long hair too, okay?
Oh my God, it gets everywhere.
Everywhere. It was my
Mine
first
gets
time
everywhere.
ever opening up a drain, because my dad actually cleaned my drain upstairs in our sink, and he said he cleaned up a good amount. And so it was my first time cleaning that drain ever. And I got that thing that like helps catch the hair, and I'll be using that a lot often. Every time I shower, I'm gonna clean it. So it was disgusting. Oh, it was so bad. Oh my God, it was so bad. But anyways, yes, be equal in a sense. Girls need to step up and be more compassionate. Guys need to step up and be more responsible. And I think we will work together more synergistically in relationships. So
synergistically? Is that what you just said?
Yeah.
Is that a word?
Yeah, it is a word.
Is it?
Yeah, the energies will be synergized.
Oh, the synergy.
Oh my God, Mark. I'm not even reading that.
Oh my, are you all the same? I think
they're all the same. But yeah, it's very interesting. Do you want to see what Officer Tatum said?
Yeah, I do. He did just write that. Yes. Is he drunk? Maybe. Is he fully erect? Also, maybe.
Hey, it means a good night tonight.
You know, if you are serving your wife and you with a good woman, she'll serve you in return. I just don't like the mentality of well, she'll OnlyFans. Well, you shouldn't be dating women like that to start with. Oh, well, I don't know what she brings to the table. What he said about the legacy is important to acknowledge. This woman, you can't do it by yourself. You need her to further your legacy. Your legacy is at stake. Whether or not the generations to come carrying your family name, this woman is providing that. And I honestly believe that young men have lost track of what their purpose is. They want a woman to be a homemaker, but you ain't providing nothing.
That's very true. And that's not their fault necessarily. It's not the guy's
Like
fault.
the women's fault or the guy's fault?
The guy's fault. You know, because the guy's purpose is to, I don't know, in the most plain of terms, go forth and conquer everything, right? Men have a purpose. Their purpose is
earn,
to
protect.
Yeah. And we've taken that away from them. We really have. That whole feminist movement to be equal. Well, I want to work too, and blah, 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 and whatever it started out as. We could debate that all day long, but we've taken it away from them. They have no purpose anymore. They really don't. We can protect ourselves. I own guns under my name. I can protect myself. Should I? Probably not.
No, honestly,
but I
okay,
can.
I'll
and
say
that's
at least
right.
in my relationship, I'm afraid of guns. So
Yeah, well, and
you
so
can protect
you know,
me.
and you're but I have them, and I can protect myself if I need to, right? Would I prefer he do it? Yeah, I don't want to do it. There's a lot of pressure. I'm stressed just thinking about it. But
I sleep. Okay, tell me this, Tugs. Do you sleep on the side of the bed closest to the door or furthest away from the door?
Furthest away from the door.
Same. Because I like that idea of that protection. And guess what? We have, okay, so my younger brother, he works for the army. He might move to this area. Having two people live in my house who both know how to use guns. I'm not going to lie. Well, I like that idea. So nice. So nice. Two gun-toting boys. Glad for it. So, wow. Andrew says men's purpose is to find the mythical G-spot. It's not mythical. It's actually real.
It's there. You know what? And I also blame, that's not your guys' fault either, to be honest. That's toys.
I think there's an embarrassment about that with females.
It's toys. It's toys.
Oh, no, I wasn't going to say that. Some women don't explore their body enough.
Well, there's that. Oh, and when we do, we use toys, which of course are going to do the job every time.
Polar opposites. I get it. Yeah. Some do too much, some do too little. So we need to find that like happy medium in between.
I promise you it's there. It's not that hard. It's on the outside of our bodies. It's okay. Well,
some are the inside.
Some are on the inside, some are on the
inside
outside.
and
A good rule of thumb, find the outside one. You can find
that
that
one's
one
easier to find. It is easier to find.
That one's super easy to find. Can't miss it. the one up in that's the whole argument. Who knows, really?
Yeah, we don't need to do an anatomy class. Just search it online. You'll find it.
Don't let the women make you feel bad though. Okay, some women can't find it either.
Yes, and that's why I say some women do need to do a little bit of exploring, little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, and yes, ring the bell for notifications because apparently I think after this stream, after the fellatio Bugatti version of whatever that was, we showed the booties, the G spot. Oh my god. We're definitely demonetized on this channel.
We're in trouble. RIPS. God, I just start OnlyFans. How can you miss it? Exactly. It's there. It's the one
little
the other one. Listen, the other one. No, I don't care what woman says it. It's not that easy to find. Okay, even for us. Okay, just
the G spot, the actual G spot.
Yeah,
so if we're talking about the C spot, some women, and I'll say this, are afraid of it or unfamiliar with it.
Mm-hmm.
If they say they gotta pee, you gotta teach them.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you were, Frank. It's fine.
Oh.
Right,
but
exactly.
That,
I was just gonna.
Yeah, no, but that's what it's saying, Omega. We got two polar opposites. One that doesn't enough, and this is the one that desensitizes their lady bits with their toys. So men can't compete in a sense.
No.
But there are ways to still have a good relationship. You know, some women are very complicated. Some
and now, is that a result of this? Possibly. Listen,
possibly.
There's a whole, like, cosmic thing going on here.
Are you doing all the steps beforehand? Like, look, we're not just a whip it out and do it. We might need the presentation. We need an introduction. Yeah. We need the character building. We need the problems that we need to solve, and then we need to get all of that before we get to the climax, you know. I'm just
And here's
saying.
a fun fact too. Here's a fun fact I don't think men really realize. How do I do this without being super inappropriate? Women have to concentrate to make it happen. You guys, it's just a thing. It happens, right? It's relatively easy comparatively. We actually have to concentrate. So when you're with a girl and she says, keep going, don't stop, that does not mean switch anything up. That literally means whatever it is you are doing, exactly that, do that. Continue doing that thing. If it's an L shape, if it's circles, whatever it is, do not do it exactly that way, because that's what we're focused on. And we have to focus. And then we have to really, really focus. Like, honestly, our brains go 80 million directions just because it's not a necessity for us. It just isn't.
Can't believe we're talking about this.
I am not wrong. I am not wrong. Exactly.
Yeah. And D-Day is right. Lots of women are based on feelings, because guess what? We have to be attracted. And that is just the underlying tone for everything I said before that, because guess what? There's still more on top of that.
Yeah. Listen, I'm just trying to help y'all out. Okay. That is the one advice I will give you. Okay. Focus.
We are a Rubik's Cube.
Yeah. We can't just.
I'm sorry for anyone who's just walked in on this, because this is a interesting part of the conversation to hear.
Okay. Andrew, do you need me to break out the controller again? Good grief.
Oh my God. Guess what? This is a woman. We are like the secret, well, like AABY middle. Oh, we got to turn this around and then this around. Oh, we got to do this. Okay, keep going.
Well, listen. When you play a video game, we're all gamers here, right? We don't play like this, right? What is that going to do? Nothing. But you do this left, right, up, right. Okay, there you go.
Yeah. It's like Mortal Kombat with the special moves.
It's not Mortal Kombat, okay?
No, with the special moves. Forward, A, B, A. And then you got to keep doing that. Forward, A, B, A. Forward, A, B, A.
Don't do this. That does nothing.
I'm a button masher, to be honest. So that is not something I do with games.
When I'm playing, ironically, Mortal Kombat, I have no idea what I'm doing. But that's, again, so I don't know what I'm doing, I button smash. But when you know what you're doing, you push the right
that's
button.
also communication with your partner. You got to talk with your partner. Yeah, you have to be honest. And that's the other thing. Do you like this? What you don't like? And hey, it's a lot about, when you think about behavior and solidifying behaviors, you're not going to say to someone, that feels so good and it sucks. Because guess what? They're going to think that, oh, she likes that. I'm going to continue doing that. Don't do that. Don't be a liar.
That's what women need to do more, honestly.
I think that's a woman thing, for sure.
Oh, it is. And we pretend, it's fine.
Oh my God. Xbox or PS buttons.
I say we as like a collective. We as a collective are like, oh, men can't find it.
No, but that is true, because how many men can fake an orgasm and how many females can fake an orgasm?
Men literally cannot fake one. They can't. They literally cannot. Like, there is a whole thing that happens without getting demonetized on YouTube. It's like a freaking squirt gun. You literally cannot fake it as a guy. Can't do it. Beep. Women, we can, because we have multiple parts.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Is like, if you fake an orgasm, guess what? That's a detriment to you. You are the one that puts yourself in that situation.
And you're cranky. Oh my gosh. I know girlfriends that have used to back in the day would have, especially when you're younger, nobody knows what they're doing when they're teenagers. They would just get so frustrated and like, why are you so cranky? You laid naked with a guy for forever. Like, why are you so mad? Because they don't know what to do, and they're kids and you don't know what to do. Anyway.
Oh my God. Men are just putting in how they can fake it in our chat right now. Like, you have to go get it first. Okay, Brian?
Point. This is a good point. I didn't think about that. This is a good point. But if she goes to check it, like, which I don't know that any woman that would, but if there was a woman, like, you can go check
Oh my gosh.
if
Oh
it's
my
not
God.
full.
Oh, that is enlightening, to say the least. Okay, let's go on to our next topic, I guess. I did not expect us to go on the O train, to be honest. This was a little...
Warm
Wow.
the yogurt first. That's very important.
So I guess, okay, so there's a new TikTok trend where women are encouraging others to wear a Subway shirt. So
they
I
can
saw this
eat
first.
fresh?
No. But I saw this first. Phil Labonte, I think that's how you say his name. Progressive women have discovered modesty. Women
my God. Yay!
Women are encouraging each other to wear Subway shirts on public transport to shield their summer looks from the eyes of strange men.
Wow.
I just have to say. Y'all learned. Guess what? This is what I've been telling you for the last year or so. If you don't want guys to look, guess what? Cover that skin up. Cover that skin up. And apparently this came out in 2022. I didn't know about it, but there is an article about this now.
I want to see. I thought you meant like Subway the brand. That I was like, why? So they can eat fresh? Like I'm so confused. Okay, got it.
So women are wearing Subway t-shirts over outfits to avoid creepy stares. As warm weather hits New York, passengers say their temporary cover-up helps them feel safe. Which is wild.
Almost as if, oh my God, these women.
It's almost as if we said something like this to women over the last at least year to 2 years. If you don't want people to catcall you, dress appropriately.
Dress like a flute. Yeah. I mean, you're still going to get catcalled, but it'll be in a much more respectful way. instead of the cat calls, you get that, dang girl, you looking fine.
Yeah. And Tara here, it brings up a good point. Women want attention, but they only want attention from men they're attracted to, since that's only 20% of men. Very true. On a recent 80-degree Saturday in New York, Claire Wenrick decided to hang out with friends on a roof. She slipped into a vintage blue tank top and camouflage miniskirt for the occasion. But before she left for the day, she grabbed an extra large white t-shirt to cover it all up. On TikTok, she said, use a dumpy subway shirt to conceal the actual outfit you plan to wear out. It will keep creeps from staring during the commute.
During the commute, but once you get to point B, they can stare all they want to.
Yeah.
Because you know what this tells me? This tells me that all the arguing about the subway in recent events, we're not going to talk about them, but you all know what I'm talking about. That just tells me again that the subway system in New York is dangerous. Like, because you have no problem wearing this mini skirt and this tiny little blue tank top walking the
at point B
of New York, but the subway system's a problem.
Yeah, Frog says, so she's saying it does matter what women wear. She is victim blaming. Let's go.
I need this goofy thing for my Twitch.
Beep. But anyways, it's a way to protect my safety getting from point A to point B. I don't want to become a target, as weird as that sounds. New Yorkers love to shed their winter layers as soon as the first signs of spring hits the city. But for women who take advantage of sundress season, the much anticipated warm weather can bring unwanted attention.
Oh.
Blah, 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 blah. Everyone has a Subway shirt in their closet. Baggy, shapeless cover-up meant to divert eyeballs away from the body. As one creator wrote on the app, it's an oversized shirt we wear over cute outfits so strange men don't bother you on the train.
I don't have that. I don't have
Meaning,
that. I live in a busy city. I mean, I'll take the subway, but I don't have that. You know why? Because I cover up in general.
I mean,
and like split down here, and they don't show my tushkis.
Tugs and I dress very appropriately. Like, you guys have not, like, if I really wanted to look like a bimbo, like real bimbo, boobs up here, top down here, I could do it. I really could. That
She's
was
got
my
the big
19-year-old body. She's
Yeah.
seen pictures. She's seen pictures.
Oh, yeah.
She's seen my bikini shots. I've taught
Oh,
her
yeah.
how to do bikini shots. But am I going to do it today? No. And I say this with love, out of the respect of my husband, I'm not going to put those photos out there because I do not need to market myself sexually to get compliments from other people.
Yeah.
And my Instagram, guess what? My personal one is private where you get those photos. So.
Oh yeah, I get those photos.
Sorry, Mark. I'll market feet. That's between me and Mark, and he actually wanted me to do it more than I did. And guess what? Because of FNT Orlando, it's been a market, and I don't mind. I would rather show my feet than my boobs. That's just me personally.
I mean, if you're gonna do it, it's probably.
I wear flip flops so often in the summer. So what's the difference?
Yeah.
I don't wear tops down to here in the summer. Absolutely not. There is a huge difference. So if I'm going to wear flip-flops, might as well monetize it. And it's a grift that Mark and I have agreed that is more than fine.
And at
because
least
guess what?
agrees with it. There's women on OnlyFans right now that their guys don't even know, or they don't like it.
Yeah.
Or both.
And guess what? Mark has actually told me he's okay with me doing XYZ. I'm not. So he knows my limits are way before his. And that's why he is more than happy. And I'm not saying anything like crazy sexual. I'm just saying like even wearing a low cut top down to here. Because that's apparently too much for me. But anyways, on to this article. Just know if you see me in a white button down, the real fit is underneath. I guess this is a big thing. I don't know. Have you seen a lot of this on TikTok?
I honestly have not seen any of that. No, my TikTok is full of really cool things to find at TJ Maxx and Walmart and like do-it-yourself wedding ideas. I'm not engaged, but I'm saving stuff for the future.
Let's see if there's anything. Leora Tannenbaum is the author of I Am Not a Slut Shaming in the Age of the Internet. She says, I think it's fantastic these TikToks are raising awareness of the harm caused by sexual harassment and assault in public spaces. Hopefully, more people now will recognize how scary it can be to simply go about your day, including taking the subway, when you present as feminine. Okay. All right. Okay. I can agree with that. To a certain extent. While covering up might make women feel less vulnerable, she adds it should never be a requirement. If someone does not wear a subway shirt over their tank top and is victimized, they did nothing wrong.
Yeah, but what if they do wear a subway shirt and they're victimized? And does that mean they also did nothing wrong, or does that mean they did something wrong? I have questions. Because it's gonna happen. Listen,
interesting.
The most attractive I've ever been to a partner, including my recent one, is when I'm wearing their baggy shirts. They're button up like nice shirts. You wear nothing underneath. You just throw something on to like go pee or get a glass of water or whatever it is you're doing. Pretty woman. She's wearing his white button up at one point in the movie. And he was like, hello. Like, that's a thing. Come on.
Mm-hmm. I think there's something in the ownership in that, in a sense. Like, it's like, my woman is wearing my shirt.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So that big baggy shirt thing is just as attractive to men as the tight clothing. Like, come on.
Yeah. Let's see. New York is one of the largest, safest cities in the U.S. Women avoiding public transit if they can help it. Wow. In February, they found that 41% of respondents were using subways less frequently. Of these people, 44% said this was due to personal safety concerns. Now, this is not, they didn't specify in that stat if it's women and men or what personal safety, because guess what? I've seen a lot of subway videos and it's not due to sexual harassment.
No,
There's
those people are
fights.
crazy and on drugs. Are you kidding me?
Drugs, yes. And people doing these weird viral content where they're trying to do like, oh, we're gonna have a pool party and get a little crazy on the subway. Heck no.
Like
Stop
people,
that.
I just want to go to work, buddy. Like, let me just go to work.
Though she would prefer to dress how she pleases, Wenrick said that she and her friends made light of the subway shirt. Sometimes they'll all show up to parties in their gigantic t-shirts and dramatically reveal the outfit underneath. We like to joke about the big reveal. That's become a big question. When do you take the subway shirt off? While you're in line for the event? Right as you walk in the bathroom? Everyone thinks I came in this huge shirt. And then, ooh, look at my cute top.
Here's the thing. So I used to work for the Venetian Hotel here in Vegas as a front desk agent. And especially during like EDC weekend or in general, you would have girls walk through the lobby and through the casino, like cutting through the rooms to go to the pools, to get an Uber to go to a different hotel, to go to the pool, whatever. But they're going to the pools. And they're in their bikinis. Nothing, no cover up, nothing. Just bikini top, bikini bottom, cute little heels, hat, whatever it is they're wearing. And we would literally give them, they were probably 3Xs, the pack of Hanes t-shirts at Walmart to cover up. Not for their safety, but because they looked like sleuths. You are presenting yourself in a sexual manner in my lobby while people are trying to check in for their hotel. I've got businessmen here. I've got families here. Now, yes, they're going to see that at the pool, but you don't need to be there's a time and a place. Are you at the pool? No, you're in my lobby taking selfies in front of the fountain. You don't need to be dressed like that. And we would literally hand these t-shirts out, but it wasn't anything to do with your safety. It was because you were dressed inappropriately. So for me, subconsciously, I think these girls personally realize that they are dressed inappropriately. It's the same concept. It's the exact same concept. You're dressed inappropriately and you know you're going to get stares, not just by men, but probably kids on the subway going, why is she
That
dressed
makes
like
no sense. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, you subconsciously, you know, you're dressed inappropriately. Whether you agree, disagree, you want to fight over feminism over it is irrelevant. You're either way, you're dressed inappropriately for the environment that you're in. Just like walking into Wall Street dressed like that, you're going to want to cover up, right? Because you're on Wall Street. You walk into a 5-star steakhouse. You want to be dressed nicely or decently, right? You're not going to walk into a 5-star steakhouse run by Gordon Ramsay wearing a bikini top and stripper heels. Right? You're going to want to cover up. Like, come on. It's the same exact.
I think it's just looking at the situation and being self-aware, because I can wear a bikini going to the beach, going to the pool, but guess what? When I go there, I might wear shorts and a shirt or a cover up while I'm in the elevator. Because I'm not going to wear a bikini going down the elevator.
Right. We cover up from the room to the pool, in the elevator, everything. And then we take our cover-ups up at the pool, which is where you're supposed to not be covered up. You're supposed to wear the main suit. And then once we're dry and we're ready to go and we cover back up, we just did this.
Yeah. And I'm not saying like this to be prude, but it's just the situation, because I don't want to stand in there and be stared at.
No, the place we were staying is a nice hotel. It's full of, for the most part, high-end-ish people that have money, that are dressed more conservatively in general. You know, yeah, if you're at Planet Hollywood, that's a different story. But if you're staying at a nice hotel, or you're going from point A to point B and you know you're going to be around business people, like, come on. And this, exactly, Tara. So not wearing the subway shirt at a party and being stared at isn't the same thing? Exactly. It's the same exact thing.
Well, and that's the thing. You're trying to attract a certain person, just apparently not subway people. Wow, Brian, you just love your yogurt, don't you? and there's something to be said about this. Andrew Matthews, bikini or sexy dress?
Dress any day. I tell you what.
Guess what? My aunt said, the less you show, the more they're interested.
Mm-hmm.
It's not something I really took in at the time. And now that I have, it's like, you think back into like the early times, an ankle, a foot, a wrist was so sexy. And now it's like, I'm wearing just the nipple covers.
Yeah, the right uniform for the right. Exactly. You're not going to show up to the Marine Ball in your nightclub dress.
I'm not. Yes, I'm not saying wear a fully covered up outfit. I'm just saying dress for the occasion. Okay. It's all about the mystery and knowing what a woman will show off for the right man, rather than just anyone with eyes. And that's a great way to put it, Dr. Rachel. Also, hi. Many women love to give it away, and guess what? Mystery does allure a man. That's why when you're dating, if you give up the sex right away, there is a high chance, especially if you haven't built the foundation with the man yet, that they might not always, and this is not always true, depends on the guy, they might not always have that interest after having sex.
Mm.
And I'm sure some women have been through this. Prove me wrong. So there is a better way to date, and delaying the sexual gratification for men will build that foundation prior to, which will make all of that worth it.
I mean, come on. Look at this. It hugs her curves. Now, of course, she's a 1940s woman, but the style's the same. It doesn't matter. The curves are hugged. I mean, Marilyn Monroe, for as curvy as she was and as busty as she was, yeah, she showed cleavage, but she was covered up otherwise. Oh, look at how cute she looks. Come on. This is the mystery right here. This is the imagination. I don't know what's under there. I mean, biologically, I know what's under there, but I don't know what's under there. What's under there?
That you can see some stuff. And guess what? Hip to waist ratio is so important. That's why when we accented the hips,
men love hips,
and the waist, there was something so gratifying about it.
Mm-hmm. You know, I put in curves to get like a curvy, but brought up all the. That's not what I meant. But you know, you guys get the gist.
So there we go. If you want to allure a man, there is mystery that is great. Don't give it up all at once. Wishmaster says, that's so true. I waited at least 3 months with my husband before we got into bed. It works. Very good advice. There you go. And it doesn't have to be 3 months. It could be 3rd date. It could be till marriage. Either way works. Whatever your values are, put it out there. And if the man accepts it, then he is someone for you. If he doesn't, guess what? That's a great way of weeding him out. Or vice versa. But this is just advice for women specifically, because I feel like most men, if they are not virgins, they are DTF.
Oh, yeah.
So, or born agains, I suppose, in Chase's where he is at.
Okay, here's a good comparison. We should be good community guidelines wise. Ready?
Yes.
The women on the right versus the women on the left. This one, this one, this one, that, whatever that is, whatever the heck that was. I remember that. What is happening here? Which one?
I think it's so much. Oh my God, that blue dress is so sexy.
This one?
Yeah.
It is beautiful. It's off the shoulder. It hugs the curves just right. She actually kind of looks like, what's her bucket? Priyanka Chopra. I think Priyanka Chopra, I think it's how you say it. Chopra Jonas. We all know her. We love her. I think she dresses so amazing, especially for her body type. She's so curvy. She dresses like this all the time, and she just looks so, and like this all the time. She looks so fantastic. And that's how she bagged a Jonas brother. Just throwing out. Just throwing out there. Kendall,
and the hottest one, I'd like to say.
Yeah, and the hottest out of the, yeah, exactly. What, honestly, what was that?
Just the booby cover. Oh my God.
All right, we're getting into dangerous territory now. But still, my point is this, any day of the week, this, look at how cute that is. Come on. Anyway, that's my fashion lesson for the day.
Yeah, and this is something that we have fallen into.
Oh my God, we've gotten so lazy. I'm guilty. I'm not gonna lie. I'm guilty.
Bryce Cooley says wearing sweatpants is also horrible look in public. Now, I'm a married woman. I will wear sweatpants in public, and I will do it with confidence.
We've gotten
because I don't
so
care.
lazy.
I do not care. But when I was single, guess what? You can still do the I went to the gym look and still look good in that.
Mhm.
There are ways to do it. You know, you can have your hair done, you can have your makeup, you can
We
have
do. We're
the
like the only
top.
country that does that.
No. Okay, so the worst is West Coast Canada, where Lululemon actually originated from. It made tights so normalized over there that
Oh, yeah. Well,
sweats.
okay, yoga pants and sweatpants are different though, because sweatpants, at least in my opinion, and I've done this, so I'm going off of my thing as well. If I'm wearing sweatpants like a baggy t-shirt, now listen, I do my bun anyway, but I've got like no makeup on. I've got the bun is like in 18 different directions. I haven't brushed my hair. I also probably have holes in my t-shirt and maybe deodorant on, depending on what time it is. You know what I mean? That's a sweatpants mentality in my head. Whereas like yoga pants, at the very least, you got to like match it with a cute crop top or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
There's
and
like
that's the
a
thing. If you do
Priyanka.
like sweatpants with a crop top, maybe that could look cute. Maybe. But I think you have to have the right body type for that.
Yeah. Look how cute she is. I just love her. She's got a curvier body. She dressed super classily for the most part. Even this revealing one is pretty classy as far as dresses go. This is my favorite. Like, come on. Anyway, dress more like Priyanka. Okay? And
But hey,
Jackie Kennedy back in the day.
if that is your style,
yeah,
not hating it. Find the man that likes you in your sweatpants, that likes you in your crop tops
Oh, yeah.
or
Listen.
baggy shirts.
Poor
but
you.
I'm just saying, for me, I've fully given into it. Mark does not give a crap about it because guess what? It's also easy access.
Well, there's that. But I also like to, at least for me, like I'll put on occasionally, especially like last week, I had all last week off. So I got the chance to kind of like, you know, the last week or the week before I put on a sundress. So when Duke came home from work, I had like a sundress on and I was cooking dinner and he was like, "You look really pretty." Did I have makeup on?
Hello there, Miss
Hello
Hugs.
there, you know? Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh, there's more gorgeous Indian women than Priyanka.
How is that possible? I don't think, is she even, I don't know if she's full. I could be wrong, but I just find her just so cute. I think she's half. I could be wrong. I don't know.
Be wrong.
Either way, I just like the way she dresses. I think for the most majority, like she's very classy in the way she dresses, the way she presents herself. She stands up straight. She, you know, she just
That
and that's
goes a
like the
long way,
hottest
though.
bonus. Just throwing that out there.
That goes a long way. Posture in any gender changes.
Oh yeah.
Because shout out to Brittany Venti, but watching her
I mean, look at
video
this.
on they're gorgeous. Watching her video on Pearl.
Oh my God, when she went over that fashion, she's so right. I watched that fashion designer guy that she hired. God, he was awful.
I just love her. She's like, he put her in a trash bag.
And Pearl is very, very tall and she's very stick straight. Like she does not have a lot of curve to her.
And she's
She really
very
doesn't.
apple shaped. She's very apple shaped.
She is. And you can't just, oh my God.
Yeah. And it's like, I mean, I have a body type close to Pearl. And I would never wear a silk dress. Never.
I don't have a body like Pearl's and I would never wear a silk dress. Look at everybody. Sundresses.
we love sundresses in this channel, okay?
Yes,
we
we do.
all know how much we love
Walmart,
sundresses.
ladies. Walmart.
Why are we putting F's in the chat, by the way?
I have no idea.
Are we putting F's in the chat for our clothing? Oh, I mean, that's nice of you to say. Thank you.
Oh,
But
because you called yourself. Okay, I got you.
Pearl's body shape. Yeah, there's a reason. There anything below here to my knees. There's, you know, I'll admit it's not as beautiful, but you know, I'll work with it.
She's got
I'll work
boobs.
with
That's all that matters.
it. Hey, the direction is here.
Kylie
Oh,
is another one that dresses.
she
At least
is.
now that she's older and married and all that, she dresses.
Even after her
queen.
babies, she looks fantastic.
And her and Ryan Reynolds, listen, healthy relationship 101. Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds. Healthy relationship number 2. Kevin Cooney and Ash D'Amato on social media. I follow them on Instagram. You guys have seen me post his stuff. The best. Love them. And actually, weirdly enough, Priyanka Chopra and Nick Jonas are pretty healthy. Who knew? Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn, also a good one.
Yeah. Thank you, Shieldwall. That's very kind of you to say.
That's very true, though. You do
distracting bits.
You have way more going on up here.
Even though I try to hide it
in the lower half, you have the upper half, and you put us together like the perfect woman.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, one day. Genetic engineering and all. Okay, so I guess this kind of brings our show to a close. This has been a good one. I had fun. Just
we stayed on topic for the most part.
Yeah, we did not go off the rails for the first time.
For a while,
there's still time.
I mean, we did a little with like the OG spot and whatnot, but
hey, there we go. We did not have to talk about that, but hey, we did. We got very passionate
That's
about that.
2 shows in a row. Fun fact, because last week we had Andrew Legal Mindset on, and we stayed on.
Okay, mind you, Andrew kept us on topic because
that's valid.
we probably could have gone off topic. Thank you, DJ Direwolf.
Hugs right, girl.
Yeah. So next week we do have a guest, and
flatter me, why don't you?
It's one of our friends, and I'm really excited to have her on. Carolyn, she is going to be on next week, especially before Dallas. So that'll be really fun to have her. We're going to talk about her relationship, what she's said, what she's seen, all her experiences, and hopefully get to learn a little bit more because she herself is married. And as we all know in this world, we like to hear from people who have had successful relationships and what worked for them, because a lot of people in these spaces are single.
So single, including Pearl. Come on, lady, get it together.
I know. She's almost past her
her cutoff. I know. What is she gonna do? I don't know.
Well, she's been working on her channel, so
the biggest troll would be, and I would be so just to her if she was taken this whole time and just
I mean, and that's the thing, like if she hid it this entire time,
that'd be awesome.
Power to her, because she protected her relationship from the drama of the internet. But I do not think that's the case.
I don't think so either. Poor girl.
Because the thing is, Brittany Venti, she exposed a lot of things that I think that was in the back of our heads.
Yeah. That was a harsh video. Everybody go watch it. It was just brutal.
It was harsh. And she has 2 parts and many streams. But her videos are so well researched, and it's very interesting to hear her takes. Like we all say, take everything with a grain of salt. But I will say this one point. If you have opinions on women, you best be displaying everything you talk about.
Yeah.
Because besides finding a man, which I understand is very difficult, she could have worked. And yes, Abba and Preach loved Brittany's video. I can share it with you. I watched that video. So
yeah, I've never watched Abba and Preach until the video you sent me today with
they're lovely 2 boys from Canada in the Quebec region, which is funny because I think I might have met Abba before.
Really?
Dancing. I think. It's hard to know because I used to be in the salsa dance circuit, and especially when you're there, you do meet a lot of people, and I might have danced them. I might have danced with him.
Yeah.
At least once.
Dr. Rachel says it's great to keep your love life out of online drama, but I also think if you do get caught up in drama, you and your partner can work it out together. Absolutely. Well, and like in my case, he's not in this circle at all. Like you guys know who he is. You guys obviously know his face. So you don't know his name. You don't know, like I don't tag him, and at least on my public profile, I don't tag him. Like you guys are aware of him, but I don't need to be like plastering all his personal information everywhere either. So, but he's aware, right? You guys are aware. And I think that especially if you're in a public space, Like, I think if let's play devil's advocate and say Pearl really is taken and she's been with some guy for a couple of years and they're doing great and she's actually in a healthy relationship and she plays it up for her channel. That's a detriment, in my opinion, because if you are with somebody and they are going out of their way to hide you, that can also be a big problem.
No, it's a huge problem. I've been in a dating, not in relationships with people that don't want to be public about you dating. And there's a certain feeling that comes along with it, because feeling like you're being hidden, it's not fair to your partner, because guess what? Michael Sartain put it this best. Men, when they're in relationships, they'll post about the girls on their Instagrams, show that they're settled. Girls, once they show that they're in a relationship, as they say, their sexual market value decreases.
Yeah.
And if your platform is built on that,
oh yeah, you're in trouble.
Dive, absolute dive. Pokimane is a great example of that.
Yep.
So, you just gotta take everything the way it is. And I think for her platform specifically, I don't think people are hugely simping. I'm sure there's simps out there for her, but I think she should lead by example. You are at your peak sexual market value before it, as her words, takes a dive. So she should show that she's in a relationship, in my opinion. But hey, up to her what she wants to do.
Oh, listen, I'm waiting for the day you decide to spill this tea. I reached out to you. I've reached out to you, ma'am. I don't appreciate the hidden secrets. I'm just kidding, but tell me.
Hey, Dr. Rachel, you protect that relationship as long as you need to.
Listen,
because guess what?
you can tell me.
Dr. Rachel is also in a different category, because she doesn't make content on herself. So it's not like she needs to
that's better.
to keep her own sexual market value, as Michael Sartain says.
I know, but still, you'll see us in Dallas. No, I won't. Okay,
I will see you in Dallas.
Spill that tea.
Dr. Rachel, I'll meet Mr. Dr. Rachel. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So I cannot wait.
Is it somebody we know? Can you at least tell me that?
Yeah. Did we meet them before? I mean, I know. There's lots of people out there, but you never know. But in any case, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Tugs, do you have anything you want to share? Or where to find you?
Oh, I was like, not anything important. I'm on Twitch. That's Tug Life with 2 G's. Yes, you know him. That's not fair. I'm not going to. Okay, X-Ray Girl is going to be my tea. I'm going to need all the tea. I lost my train of thought. I'm on Twitch. Thank you, Hokies. Just put my link in there. I also have a link tree, which is in my profile on Twitter, which is the same handle, that Tug Life. Twitch, Twitter, this channel. I don't have anything special coming up. I stream randomly. I'm sorry. I'm in a bottle.
Let's see. So I have YouTube, Rumble, Locals. You can find me X-Ray Girl on all platforms, including Twitter, Instagram, and of course, Poor Choices. We also have a new channel with Mark called Human Cyborg Relations. We are still trying to find our footing. Please subscribe to that channel. And this, as well as Human Cyborg Relations, are on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts.
Right, Spotify.
So check out where you can find this podcast. If you want to hear this as audio only, we're trying to curtail it a bit more to make it audio only and audio friendly, if you're one of those people. And find us there, download us, listen to us. Put a review, like this podcast, all the things, subscribe, because we're trying to build this, because I think this is a good place, because Tugs and I were in a relationship. We have been through a lot. And I think as much as people say experience isn't good, I think there is good in experience because we've learned from our mistakes.
And do I wish it had been different? Yes. If I could go back to my younger self and be like, get married right now and stop picking losers, you jackwagon. Yes. But also, it is what it is. And there's not a whole, you just grow from it and you learn from it and you pray for the best.
And
Thank
yes,
you,
and guess what? When people say experience is bad, it is not entirely if you learn from it appropriately. Andrew Matthews, before we leave, for 5 British pounds for Poor Choices. Wow. Poor Choices yogurt. Microwave safe.
If you're gonna do that, do plain yogurt. Greek yogurt plain. The Greek yogurt, for those of you who are on a healthier food, Greek yogurt has a certain smell to it. You're welcome.
Wow. I don't know how to feel about this, Andrew. I usually love your super chats, but nah, we're throwing yogurt at each other. Andrew, if I meet you, I'm gonna give you a carton of yogurt and be like, I was told to give this to you, microwave friendly.
Listen, whoever sees X-Ray Girl first in Dallas, if you don't bring her yogurt, I'm gonna be disappointed. I want to be.
I'm gonna be sans Mark. Please don't bring me yogurt.
No, Mark's not allowed to bring you yogurt. Mark brings you the real yogurt. Okay, I'm talking about yogurt.
Mark brings all the yogurt to the yard in my yard.
Yogurt brings all the girls to the yard. And then,
yeah, that's right. Brings me to the yard.
I'm still waiting on baby cyborgs.
Yeah. Embrace. Online dating is full of obese millennial women with kids with a ton of baggage. And they're extremely picky about men. Sounds like you've been heard about these millennial obese women. I don't think all millennial women are obese. Maybe overweight. Check that doctor definition on overweight and obese.
I need somebody to explain it to Dr. Rachel. Hi, Liz. You're coming in at the end. I'm so sorry.
Oh my God. Hey, there are definitely some that are obese, okay? Not all.
On like the dating apps for sure.
On the dating apps.
There are, listen, and he's not wrong because just America in general is full of whales.
I'll say in Canada, I was definitely not overweight when I met Mark. I might be a little bit over now, but
we've gotten chunky.
Yeah, it's called relationship weight. I love my relationship. So hey, if that means that I love him more, I'll stop at this. I'll cap it here. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for listening to this podcast. This has been fun. I might be a little drunk. Tugs might be a little drunk. And yes, we got comfy. But yeah, please, next week we have Carolyn. We're gonna have an awesome podcast. I will post on our Twitter questions if you have any for her, because she is new blood in our podcast. And I hope you guys have a great evening. Much love to you all, and we will see you next week. Bye.